just finished watching the W5 investigation documentary, Twin Flames, Universe Controversy. It's the exclusive full documentary with Avery Haynes, and oh, I have a lot to unpack. So, the whole premise of the documentary were the allegations against Jeff and Shalia. And I believe it started in 2020 on Vice, and then it was covered again. It's been covered a couple times, and truly, it's been covered on Amazon and Netflix. There's two documentaries there as well. And these are all accusations of brainwashing, forced labor, and coercing followers to change genders. So, really, I want to talk about the perspective, address any misconceptions, and share my own take as someone who's exploring the twin flames concept and how it has become like, I don't know, almost like a phenomenon in a way, or, oh my gosh, I need my twin flame, my twin soul. Like people are so attached to that. Just like, oh, I need to open my third eye. Like it's something that you have to do in order to be enlightened or to discover your true purpose, or it's ridiculous. The amount of, and really that's brainwashing if you think about it. I mean, it makes you think FOMO, that you're missing out on something and that you don't have it when actually you've had it all along and you're being lied to. So when I'm like, okay, I watched it last night and it was done very well. And, you know, Avery Haynes, the journalist, she didn't pursue them. They actually reached out to her and said that they wanted to um, clear everything and tell their side of the story. But there were a lot of former members of this group or cult, however you want to look at it, that had live video or video and email and a whole bunch of other things claiming that, yeah, they were really just about grabbing people's hearts and minds and then their wallets. And really in this age of, you know, spirituality, yes, but there's no more gurus. You are your own guru. And any group or any teacher or anyone that tells you otherwise, they're coming from their ego. They have hidden agendas. And they're looking to grab your cash by all means possible. And I understand, you know, spirituality, there's an allure to it. It's mysterious, it's mystical, it means so many things to so many different people. And sometimes it gets, you know, crossed with religion, and then science comes in, and then, you know, we're talking about politics, and here we go, a tale as old as time. I mean, if you really want to go back to this, Jesus, people loved him and then they hated him. And the same thing it happens time and time again. We love him. He's the new Messiah, or they're going to save the world. And then something happens and they realize, oh my gosh, they're human. They made mistakes. They screwed up. So my immediate reaction to the documentary, did it feel balanced or sensationalized? Again, Avery did an excellent job. It was balanced. It wasn't cringe. It wasn't bait clicky. It wasn't, I don't even know the name of that show where they follow celebrities. Oh, TMZ. I don't watch that garbage because it's garbage for the mind. I don't subscribe to it. So anytime there's anything that's sensationalized, mediaized, celebritized, I turn away. It's an immediate turn off. I don't know about you. So, I mean, this is serious, these allegations, while considering potential media bias. I mean, They went through everything. She fact checked, she did her own research. She I mean, you'll have to go and watch the interview, especially closer to the end where Jeff is crying or Jeff will stop the conversation because he doesn't like where it's going. You can tell he wants to control. Right away you can tell. He wants to control the whole thing and his partner or his twin flame, she doesn't say much. She doesn't. So he is controlling everything. You can feel it. I can feel it. And of course, I was curious. And then I was concerned, but I wasn't jumping to conclusions because they also had some members of the group that changed genders. Now, it was a divine download from God to Jeff. And he would tell people in the group that if you're a woman, actually you're supposed to be a man. So you need to start dressing like a man, acting like a man. And then you need to be paired up with this person. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's cringe. It's awful. I would never suggest to anyone that I work with, any of my clients, that you need to be a different gender. You need to do this. You need to do that. You're doing this wrong. Um, my heart broke. Um, and really, it's what is brainwashing and manipulation. Well, anytime you are told that you need to do something or else, or there's every the work that I do with people, these are all suggestions. I share tools, I share ideas, I share what worked for other clients, I share what worked for me might work for you. This is how I work. I never at any moment would tell people that if they don't do it, then they're wrong or they're going to be kicked out or there's going to be repercussions, right? So it's really, and they brought in this idea of community, and I'm all about community. However, it was all about people working for them, and some of the text message exchange, quite he was awful to them. He was abusive to them. And I mean, these people were treated like slaves. And on the other side of it, these people were so broken that they thought it was normal. So again, I'm going to go back to why teaching about the narcissist, the psychopath, and the sociopath, they're huge because a lot of us, I feel we're getting better, but we're not seeing the signs. But it's more than just signs. We want to look for the green flags, but it's the feeling. Many times I get it right in my gut and I know something's off. And my tendency to um, be the peacemaker, I struggle with that and I'm getting better at it. And I'm saying no, and instilling boundaries. I feel that's really huge. And, you know, and the sensitive issue of encouraging self exploration versus pressuring individuals to change. So, spiritual guidance can be both empowering and misunderstood at the same time. That's why when I start my day, I always ask, how may I serve? Show me where to go, show me what to do, show me what to say, show me what not to say. It is a fine line. Um, and really, it's about people growing and expanding and leaving. But with them, they had multiple branches, like under the twin flame universe. They had like this cooking app. They also had this map. Um, they had like 3 or 4 companies under this umbrella, and they were actually caught on camera, or Jeff was, with an accountant saying, "Oh, we should start a nonprofit, and it should be a religion because then we have better tax. We're going to avoid paying a lot of taxes, and we're going to make a lot of money." and he denies ever saying that, but it's on camera. So it's like, dude, yeah, anyways, it's just it's disgusting. So I really want, and they did have a fair chance to explain their perspective, but it contradicted everything that was already caught on camera through their community meetings, through Zoom, and all of that. And of course, grievances are legitimate, and they considered all sides before forming a strong opinion. And I want to reflect, like, on my own experience with twin flames. Like, when I heard that, to me, it's honestly, it's about healing your shadow self first. You have to love yourself first. You have to become your best self first before you will attract your soulmate or your partner for life or whatever that happen, or a relationship or friends or whatever it is. And twin flame is also a mirror. This is someone that will reflect anything that you have not dealt with. Huh? It's not romantic. Why? When did we romanticize this concept? That's what I'd like to know. That's what I mean. Spirituality gets a bad rap. And in a world where there's just too much information, we want transformation. And that's the work that I do. I don't want you to be with me for 10 years. I don't want you to keep, a lot of these people were spending $20,000 on courses, and it was endless. It was courses, then it was monthly memberships, and then it was their retreat, and then it was like, come to our home. And I mean, you should see their home. It's 7,000 square feet. And they have all the, Porsches and Corvettes and um Gucci, like a lot of brand names. I'm not saying, don't go get that, but it's that seemed to be the whole premise. He wanted to be rich, and he obviously there's something in him that needs to be healed where I'm not saying it, don't have money, don't be rich, but that wasn't the reason he started Twin Flames. It was just to make money, and also to heal that inner child of his that he has not healed, because somewhere along the way he felt powerless in his life, and that's what being a guru and money is all about. It's about power and seeing, being important, being the go-to person. Um, so let me know your experiences with I don't know if you're familiar with the Twin Flames universe. Does Twin Flame resonate with you? Um, and I really want to make sure you know about the value of community in your spiritual journey, when it's supported versus when it crosses boundaries. Anytime it feels off, anytime you feel coerced, anytime you feel put down, shamed, blamed, guilt, any of that, that's a boundary, and that's not right. So this is really about addressing, we're put into like a hypnotic state, like we feel like we need this, or it's going to fix everything in our lives, and I just need this quick fix. Your healing journey is not a quick fix. It's not a destination. It is a journey, and it is lifelong. Sometimes you're in the valley, and sometimes you're at the top of the mountain. You cannot always be at the top of the mountain. Only the ego feels that way. And it reminded me of a community where I had um, never fully embraced God and Jesus. But in 2020, a certain someone came along, and the way he talked about Christ consciousness and all of that, and this Eden community and all of this, and they're going to have like their own land. And it sounded amazing. And I actually did some teaching in this group, and found some beautiful clients and lifelong friends out of it. However, the dark side of it was all of a sudden there was gossip and drama and they were kicking people out of the group, and it just got weird. And all of a sudden, all the alarm bells came on, and I left. And yeah, I was actually um, annoyed, angry. I went through all of that, right? How could I follow these people? What's wrong with me? Um, but then being on the other side, I learned valuable lessons out of it. Again, I got beautiful relationships and some clients out of it. So, all in all, it was a great experience. However, I did not get hooked. I unhooked myself. And there's romance scams going on as well. Why are so many people being scammed? Because they don't go inside. They don't heal themselves. They don't do the inner work. I think it was Paul Coelho that said, sure, adventure is dangerous, but routine is the most dangerous. That means taking care of your mind, body, spirit every day. Buddha, chop wood, carry water. Take care of yourself. Heal yourself. Nourish yourself. Be present with yourself. And gravitate towards things that make you feel good and curious, not dopamine hits, not quick fixes, but knowing that you're being guided by spirit, by God, by source to your next evolved, your next evolution. And anything that feels off and too good to be true, as my mom would say, usually is. Wow. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have another video about Gabby Petito. I don't know if you've watched that Netflix documentary, but I just, this goes back to boundaries. This goes back to looking for green flags, not red flags, taking your time with other people and not jumping in right away. Right. And taking a step back until the mud clears, until it's clear. There's no timeline. But I'm pointing out the complexity of spiritual communities, the nuances of influence, it's everywhere, and how it gets into the ear, and then it grabs your heart, and the importance of discernment, being very discerning. So I want you to share your own experience and perspectives respectfully in the comments below. I invite you to subscribe for more open discussions on spirituality, personal growth, and self discovery. So do all those wonderful things and take care of yourself. Bye bye.